Welcome. In this video I'm going to show you how you can perform a so-called C-square test using Python. I'm using JupyterLab with Python version 3.12. This video will focus on how to obtain the output, not so much on if you should be using this test or how to interpret the output. The test is an improvement on the Brunner-Munzel test. I've already loaded some example data. I loaded in pandas, then loaded this student statistics data, which is a survey among students. I don't need all of its data, I just need one ordinal field, so I'm using mixed number of activities. These are the possible categories in there. As you might notice, they are not numeric, so I also have a coding dictionary, which has the appropriate order of the categories and a number to represent them. The binary variable was gender because only male and female were selected in this survey. In a separate video I've shown how you can do this with my own library, which has a function simply for this, but if you don't want to use any libraries or less libraries, we can actually do it the hard way by going over the formula. So first of all, I'm actually going to replace the variables with that coding, so they actually become numbers. As you can see, we now have 1, 2, 5 in there. I'm going to separate the two scores, so I'm simply going to first create a list of booleans to see if they were male or female. And then actually select those, drop any missing value, so we have the two scores separately. Just to make sure I'm using as much as I can Python only, I convert both to a list and also a list with all scores combined. Then use the len function to quickly get some sample sizes and the overall sample size. Then we need to create some ranks. Creating ranks is a little bit tricky, especially if you don't want to use any other libraries. So I made a quick function myself, as you can see here, which will actually calculate the minimum ranks, the mid ranks, and the maximum ranks. The minimum takes the lowest rank in case there is a tie. The mid rank uses the average, and the max takes the highest one. So once we have this function and it returns all three, I can actually define those for both the within, so using the category only, that's the last two, so that's for each category. And the first one is actually doing it for all ranks, so the overall, or sometimes referred to as the pooled ranks. We then need some averages of those as well, mostly from the second category only, so for all of them we can simply sum the results up. The second category starts at the sample size of the first category and ends at the overall one, and divided of course by the sample size. So for example, the bar R2 minimum using the minimum ones is 3.36. We can now actually fill out this formula for theta, and it's fairly straightforward, and it gives us the result of 0.23. Tau is the same thing. We have everything we need to fill this out. These are all those different averages of different ranks, and we simply get our tau value then. We can also calculate dn already, which will be used as a denominator, which is the sample size multiplied by the sample size minus 1 for each of the two categories, and multiply all of that with each other. We also need the so-called placement values, which is the pooled mid-rank minus the within mid-rank. So we do that again for each of the two categories. And then we calculate the average of those by again summing them and dividing them by the appropriate sample size. Then we calculate the variance or the sum of squared of those pooled of those placement values by taking the value minus the average of those, squaring the results and summing them all up. So summing them all up, taking the difference, squaring the result, and do that for all of the scores inside that each of the categories. Alright, that leaves us finally to the estimated variance, which is this scary looking formula, but we have all there is to it. This simply means to sum up the two different sum of squared, so that's being done over here, and everything else is just something that we already have a variable for, so our estimated variance is 0.0034. Which brings us to the test statistic c squared, which is again just a formula that needs to be filled out. As you can see, that will result in 14.59. This is actually distributed with a chi-square distribution, so we can cheat a little bit and load from SciPy the chi-square distribution, and then simply say, well, it's going to be the survival function, I think they call that, which will do this 1 minus for us. The degrees of freedom is always 1, so the p-value, oh, I first need to, of course, import that, and then I can run it. The p-value turns out to be 0.00133. That's below the usual threshold of 0.05, which would be then considered significant, and we would conclude something in the lines that two categories think significantly different in the mixed number of activities. Alright, I hope this video was helpful and thank you for watching.